Well, good afternoon, everyone. Lovely to see you. Let's begin just briefly again. Bring your attention to your breath. Rise and fall of your chest or the place at the base of the nose where breath enters the body. And bring yourself fully into this space and this time. You cannot breathe in the future or the past. You can only breathe in the present. Therefore, attention to the breath brings us into the present. Raise the arms over the head. Rub the palms together. Bring your palms down over your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. And slowly take your palms away. Right, what I will do this afternoon is talk for about 5 minutes most, and then lead you through a series of guided meditations. The theory we had this morning, this is one aspect of the practice. Getting arrested is another aspect of the practice. Good job. These exercises I devised for a course I teach called Philosophy in the Environment. Luckily, I had tenure when I kind of went off the reservation for what college professors are allowed to do. I was under the influence of two things. One is my own reaction of suffering, grief, and rage about the environmental crisis. The other were the exercises of a wonderful, deep ecologist, Buddhist teacher named Joanna Macy, with whom I did some work. I'm sure some of you know her name, a wonderful, inspiring prophet of our time. And the idea of the exercises in a college classroom was to create, as it were, a line that went from the most interior experience, which is what we'll have this afternoon for the next hour, through the kind of middle range of reading books, having conversation, writing papers, and to the outer world itself, so that every student is given the assignment of finding a tree on the college campus, visiting the tree 3 or 4 times a week, and keeping a record of the experience, 15 or 20 minutes with that same tree. We have 7-week terms. And keeping a record, and I tell them, I don't care what you write in this record. You can say Gottlieb is an idiot. This is the biggest waste of time I've ever had. I don't mind. And some of them write that, but then 2 weeks later they're saying, this is kind of interesting. And 4 weeks later the tree's got a name. And by the 7th week, they say, gee, the tree doesn't look so good today. I wonder if it's the acid rain, and I contribute to that by driving. So this is one part of that, and I think that this line that I tried to create for the students, I think it's valuable also outside of just the academic context of philosophy courses and grades and nonsense like that. Because we all have an experiential interior, a capacity to reflect and experience, and the capacity to use our imagination to connect with, for want of a better term, sacred energies, holy energies, energies of enormous importance. We all have that. And our capacity, our ability, our commitment to attuning our interior energies, our interior imagination, the symbolic structures we create in dreams, in reveries, in imagination, in art, is an essential part of sustaining us through an extremely difficult time. Now, life has always been hard for people. The particular kinds of difficulties that we face today, most of us look, as I would say, reasonably well fed. So I don't think anybody's here starving, the way a lot of people are in the world. But we have other problems, psychological problems, cultural problems, problems of enormous threat hanging over our head for the way in which we're living, and problems of psychological and cultural madness that are clearly afflicting a great deal of the world. So we need interior resources, and in particular in relation to the environmental crisis, a crisis which is a crisis not just of trees and porpoises and water, but a crisis of poisoned people. Poisoned people. Because if you poison the earth, you poison people as well, since we're part of the earth. That crisis requires care and love extended to the interior of our experience. There are so many things in our contemporary culture that would poison us. Violence, hatred, stupidity, greed, carelessness, lack of attention. And yet, and I'm sure everybody here knows this, or you wouldn't be here. I mean, if you thought this was the Shriners, you came to the wrong place, right? I'm sure all you know it, and I've been told that the vast majority of people here have extended meditation practice themselves, and nothing is better than that. So these meditations are designed to cultivate that interior sense of connection to the exterior world. An exterior world which, of course, includes our own bodies, our own spirits, because we, as I said this morning, are also a part of nature. So that's the end of the talking. At least the discursive. I will be guiding you by talking. Find a comfortable position. Put down your pens and papers. If you are disposed, take off your glasses. Some people take off watches before they meditate. Loosen your belts. If you want to lie down on your back on the floor, that's allowed. Any position that you can hold for, let's say, 6, 7, or 8 minutes comfortably. If you need to go to sleep, that's fine. If you have to scratch or move, that's fine too. But keep in mind that it's also good just to let the play of sensations wash over your body, knowing that if I offered you $1 million or a universal cure for cancer not to move, you'd manage not to move. So you know that it's possible not to move. So see what you can do with that. But the idea is not to suffer. I mean, there are two schools of Buddhism. There's the scratch if it itches school and don't scratch even if it itches. Those are the major distinctions among world Buddhism. All right. So, yes, good. Yeah, lights can be down. So very gently close your eyes and begin once again by settling into the breath. Each breath, your connection to life. And very gently and slowly, we will relax our bodies. So starting with the toes and the solid part of the foot and the heel, there's a gentle, calm, slightly warm energy that moves through them. And that gentle, calm, slightly warm energy moves into your ankles and your shins and your calves. No place to go, nothing to do. Everything is fine right here, right now. And that same gentle, calm energy moves into your knee, both knees. Then it moves into the hamstrings and the back of your thighs, and to the quadriceps, which are the top of your thighs, the front. Very soft, open, accepting, no problems. Everything's just quiet and calm. And now that slightly warm, relaxed, and open energy moves into your groin and into your buttocks and into your hips and into your lower abdomen. It's quiet, it's relaxed, it's gentle. Sinking down, supported by the chair, the floor, the building, supported by the earth, which holds us all. And that gentle, quiet energy moves from your lower back and your sacrum to your mid-back, to your upper back, and to the back of your shoulders. And that same energy moves from your stomach, up through your chest, and to the front of your shoulders. Soft, warm, easy. Now it moves from your shoulders through your upper arms down to your elbows. And it moves from your elbows through your forearms to your wrists. And the gentle, warm energy moves out through the palm of your hands, out through your fingers, and from the top of your hands out through your fingers. And now this same gentle, warm, relaxed energy moves into your neck and your throat. And it moves up into your face. Your jaw relaxes, your eyes, your ears, your forehead, your cheeks, and your scalp. And now from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, you are completely relaxed, just slightly warm, very comfortable. And I will count from 3 down to 1. And then not only your body, but your mind also will be relaxed and open and ready to access your own inner truth. 3, 2, 1. And now body and mind are relaxed and open and ready to access your own inner truth. And now, if you will, take yourself to some place in the natural world where you feel particularly at home, protected, cared for, loved. The place might be real, the place might be imagined. A beach, a mountain, a meadow, a tree, a yard, a river. Some place that is right for you. Some place you've been, some place you just imagine. See yourself in this place in as much detail as possible. Feel the quality of the air and the breeze, if there is one, the temperature, the quality of the light, whether it's day or night or evening or dawn. What smells are there, and how you yourself appear there, clothed or naked, sitting or standing, lying or walking. Observe the colors, the motion, the shapes, whatever life is there. And simply exist in this place for the next few minutes. And now, knowing that you can return to this place anytime you wish, prepare to leave. And now, slowly and gently bid farewell and bring yourself back to your body in this room. And be aware of your left thumb. And now I'll count from 1 to 5, and at 5 I'll ring the bell. And very gently and easily open your eyes, and you will find that you are relaxed and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any questions or comments about the exercise? Well, good. I think it is important to remember the classic line of most people's meditation practice, the thing that people say most often, which is, gee, I ought to meditate more. I think that resonated with a few. And it's there, people tell me, well, I don't have time, which I say, no, you do. And I do. It's never, nobody existing doesn't have enough time to meditate. All you have to do is sleep 10 minutes less, because 10 minutes of meditation is equivalent to 20 or 30 minutes of sleep, so they say, neurologically. It's important to remember the degree to which we have some control over our own mental experience. And that's one of the things that meditation is for. It's to organize our mental experience so that it's conducive to spiritual development. Everything, and this is another sort of spiritual cliche, has its own energy. And the energy of that place you went to is distinct, different from a rock concert, or a basement where somebody's being tortured, or a television program, or a screaming fight with your husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, daughter. Right? Everything has its own energy. And that energy is accessible mentally to us whenever we want it. It's so easy to forget, but life is better when we remember. Okay, so if anybody needs to stand and stretch, because now we're going to do to the second exercise. You need to stand and stretch, roll around on the ground, cough, wiggle something, that's fine. Yeah, shake it out, baby. Yeah, go for it. All right, so this second exercise is similar in some ways, but invites a deeper, perhaps troubling experience. It should be remembered that while meditation is often relaxing, it can be the very opposite of relaxing, because quite often in the serious practice of meditation, hidden emotions, hidden thoughts, hidden memories can surface as we stop the normal controls and distractions of everyday life. Buried treasures and also buried pains and traumas can come to light, and that's okay, right? Everything that's in there can be tolerated, can be experienced with a sense of spaciousness and understanding and acceptance. So, once again, put yourself in a very comfortable position. Let your eyes gently close. We'll go through the relaxation again, but a little more quickly because you're now practiced in it. Slow and gentle, warm feeling moves from your feet, up your legs to your shins. And it moves through your quadriceps and your hamstrings, your thighs. It moves into your groin, your buttocks, your hips, and your lower abdomen. And it moves up through your stomach, to the chest, to the front of your shoulders. And it moves up from your sacrum to your lower back, to your mid-back, to your upper back, to the back of your shoulders. Slow, gentle, easy, just a little bit warm. From your shoulders down through your upper arms to your elbows. From your elbows through your forearms to your wrists, and out your fingers, top of your hands and the palms. Slowly, relaxed, no hurry, everything easy. The warm, gentle feeling moves into your neck and your throat, and then to your mouth, your jaw, your eyes, your cheeks, your forehead, and your scalp. And once again, I will count from 3 down to 1. When I get to 1, your body and your mind will be relaxed and open and ready to access your own inner truth. 3, 2, 1. Body and mind relaxed and open and ready to access your own inner truth. Once again, bring yourself to that safe, protecting and nurturing place in nature. Once again, see yourself there in as much detail as possible, clothing, motion, color of the sky, smells and sounds. And now, if you will, see if there's something that's being communicated to you from this place. It might be a word, it might be a sound, it might be a feeling, it might be an image. Is there something that this place in the natural world has to communicate to you? And now, knowing that you can return to this place and hear what it has to communicate whenever you wish. Prepare to leave. And now, slowly, gently, bring yourself back to your body in this room. Be aware of your left foot. And now I will count to 5, and at 5 I will ring the bell. Slowly, gently, you will open your eyes and be relaxed and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can take a deep breath and let it out. Any questions or comments about the exercise? First time I did that in a class, I think it was the first time I taught the philosophy and the environment course. And it was a small group this time. Later it got to be 40 or 50 each time. And we had a candle burning in the center of the room. I really went crazy as a college professor. And afterwards I said, does anybody have anything to say? You know, did anybody hear anything? And this tall, skinny, red-haired kid, a very bright student who was sort of buying my line, he walked over to the candle and he looked around and he said, this is what I heard. He said, stop it. Just stop it. So you never do know what will come up at times like that. There is a depth of connection, I believe, that we have in the more thoughtful people, and I'm sure that's, you know, the kind of people who come to this. This is not a baseball game after all. No dancing girls or dancing boys either. This is a place for thoughtful people. That we all have buried within us a recognition and a sense of something. And the purpose of that last exercise is to bring out what we have. Yes, dear, you wanted to say something?
As I lie down, I experience this, always the Caribbean. It's just beautiful and clear. And so I'm walking, I'm doing the exercise, and I get the sense of mother and purity and innocence and safety. And then it's hard to talk about, the image, then I started thinking, and this is what the fish want. They want purity, and they want cleanliness, and they want safety. And I had just had this conversation with Will Tuttle about why I should cut fish out of my diet. And so he had said, he gave me the spiel on what happens to fish. I already knew that 80% of the large fish in the ocean were gone. I already knew a lot of the garbage. I know all of that. But he was very specific about the feelings of the fish and their beauty. And I recognized that that's what the fish want too. It was exactly what I was experiencing there. And I was with this warm mother, the ocean that was protecting me, but the fish weren't being protected.
Right. Yes. Very, very true.
And I really just have to stop eating fish.
Yeah. That is the doubleness of nature spirituality. It's encompassing, it's beautiful beyond measure, it's intricate, and we're fishing it out. Both in terms of fish and everything else you can find except jellyfish and roaches. That's what we're doing. That's the, you know, there's a deep pain associated with this form of spirituality. It's not for the faint of heart. But I think if you read spiritual literature seriously, whether Christian or Jewish or Islamic or Buddhist or Hindu or whatever else they said, they never said spiritual life was easy. They never said that. Any other questions or comments about the exercise?
I went to a place that no longer exists, but it is a place that was very special in my memory. And there was always a unique presence there, whether a nature spirit or whatever. And she said to me, she's a she said, "Remember the magic." And when I prepared to leave, she said, "I'll go with you, just stick me in your pocket."
Great. Truth. And we need, take another question, but let me just do a little business while we need one other person. Volunteer. Kelsey, why don't you? Yeah. No, you don't need shoes on. No. Everybody's going to get 2 pieces of apples. We can continue talking. Don't do anything with them until I tell you, because I'm in charge. Yeah. Somebody had a hand up back here?
So I love meditating in nature. I call it my serenity garden when I meditate, and to absorb the elements. I was in Sarasota, Florida, on the Gulf under my banyan tree, where I go often once a week, and experiencing the element of grass, earth, the rocks, the trees. But I was called to go under the water. Normally, I don't do that. But actually, it's a Kabbalah exercise to do that, and I was reminded. But it called me to spend time under the water. And the difference is immense between meditating above the earth and under the water. For me, it brings out the part that I'm working on now, which is the feminine side, and beingness and stillness is emphasized tremendously. So I'm grateful for this exercise, and I'll continue to go home to that water often.
Good. Excellent. Okay, yes. So everybody's getting 2 pieces of apple. Don't be shy. Just lay them right out there. Don't worry about it. Just grab, just take. Don't start. We've all got the same illness. Life. Yes.
Okay.
Somebody had a question? Somebody had a question someplace? Oh, back there. Okay.
I guess there's 2 of us. I'll just go. I was in the foothills of the Rockies in autumn, sitting in the forest and very still. And I heard a voice, "This is enough." And I sat for a minute and I said, "Enough? Enough of what?" And I got this huge list. It's enough to feed your spirit. It's enough to heal the earth. It's enough to feel love. It's enough to work for. It's enough to give you meaning. It's enough to, and it just went on forever. Right. And I thought that was such wonderful advice.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
So I went to outside in nature to an ashram that I had been last year, where there was a lot of love. There was a lot of love to an ashram. I had been last year, and I was there in nature, and the message that I got, and more than a message, it was just, which I appreciate you gave us this exercise, because it was a very strong recognition, of it, that just empty yourself of everything but remain in love. But that feeling of those words was just felt. So I thank you for the exercise.
Good. Very good. Very good. What's amazing is how much is in here, which we tend to ignore, forget. I mean, after all, we're all so busy, right? That's the greatest sin, never mind having sex with children. If you're not busy in contemporary America, there's something, terribly wrong, right? So take a stock and realize that we have this within us. All right, does everybody have 2 pieces of apple?
Not yet.
Not yet, almost. Okay. All right, so I think we have time for one more point. Anybody else have something they want to add? Yes.
I was, you know, trying to go to a natural settings place, and I ended up on my own property, which is a beautiful place in Costa Rica, and I was drawn to a tree that I like that tree, but the interesting thing is that it was only about 2 weeks ago I cut that tree down to allow other fruit trees around it to prosper. And there's I didn't enjoy doing that, but I believe as a steward, something that I sometimes have to do. And I suppose there's some pain associated with that, and maybe why on both occasions I go to that tree, on both of these meditations. And the interesting thing is, I see that the life of the tree is still there, and it's not unhappy, and there's not negativity there. It's like a deva still there where the tree was, and there's still chunks of the tree lying around which are still there. So that was interesting. I expected, or maybe I thought there would be something negative to come out of that, and actually there wasn't.
If you go to a forest and you see tree trunks, the area where trees have been cut down, some of them will be alive and have green, which means that there's photosynthesis, 50 to 100 years after they were cut down. How, you ask yourself? The other trees around them are feeding them. Not all of them, but some will be fed by the other trees. Who knows why? All right, so the next exercise. I didn't get any apple. What is this? What the hell?
Maybe you weren't a good teacher.
I don't know. You know, the children are happy, but you forget about the mother. Thank you. All right, so take one piece of apple and eat it. And now, gently close your eyes. For a moment, focus on your breath. And now I would like you to invite in to your awareness, to your consciousness, all the beings that have made this apple possible. We start with the sun, whose energy makes life possible on Earth. Water, which makes life possible on Earth. Sun and water nourish some particular tree in some particular orchard. On the roots of that tree are bacteria, which enable the roots to assimilate minerals and helps them take in water. On the branches are leaves, which enable the tree to photosynthesize, to make sugars. In the soil are minerals essential for the tree's growth. Sun and water, tree and soil, bacteria, all essential. Without any of them, no apple. Probably some person planted that tree some years ago. And perhaps other people cultivated and watered and protected the tree. And the tree might have been pollinated by bees or bats or other insects, or by the wind. And some people picked the fruit, reached out gently, put it in a basket. And somebody had to make that basket. And the fruit was carried probably to a small truck, put in boxes. Somebody had to make that truck and make the roads on which the truck travels, and get the oil out of the ground for the gasoline for the truck to run. And the truck drove to some distribution point, probably a big, huge market somewhere. And people had to operate that and produce the electricity for the lights and the heating and the air conditioning. Build that building. And then somebody had to buy those baskets of apples and take them to some store, supermarket or a little corner store or fruit stand. Somebody had to operate that supermarket or fruit stand or corner store. And then the apples made their way here. All those beings, from the sun and the water and the earth to all the workers, all the people, all the associated things, baskets and trucks and roads and buildings, all those beings contained in that piece of apple. And experience that multitude as you eat the second piece. Each breath of air, each moment we're alive, each bite of food, is the product of all these forces, all these beings, all these powers. You think of the course of evolution, which has made it possible for us to sit here. The cosmic forces, the biological forces, all these things. On the one hand, we are moral individuals, and we have to make choices about our lives. And at the same time, we are part of these infinite webs of connection. The Buddhas talk about the jewel net, a net stretching through the universe. And at every node in the net, there's a jewel. And each jewel reflects all the other jewels. Dependent origination. And that's what we are, dependent origination and moral individuals, both at the same time. All right, there'll be one more exercise. If you are the kind of person who writes things down, you might have something to write things down available to you for the end of this exercise. And when the exercise is over, I'll simply ring the bell, and that'll be the end of our time together. So if you need to arrange your body or take out something that you like to write things down with, you should do that now. Once again, let your eyes gently close. And gently put yourself in a state of openness and relaxation. And once again, feel that warm, relaxed feeling starting in your feet, moving up your legs, through your groin, your lower abdomen, your buttocks and your hips. Moving up through your stomach and your chest to the front of your shoulders. Moving up from your sacrum to the lower back, to the upper back, to the back of your shoulders. Gently and easily and comfortably moving from your shoulders down through your upper arms to the elbows. Through your forearms to the wrists, out through your palms and the back of your hands, out through your fingers. And now that same gentle, warm, relaxed feeling moves into your throat and your neck, into your face. Your jaw relaxes, your mouth, your eyes, your forehead and cheeks, and your skull. And I will count backward from 3 to 1, and at 1 you'll be relaxed and open and ready to access your own inner truth. 3, 2, 1. And now, relaxed and open and ready to access your own inner truth, move one more time, one last time today, to that safe and protected place in the natural world. And see yourself there in as much detail as possible. Color of the sky, sound of leaves or water, the posture of your body, whether you're wearing clothes or not. And now in this place, bring some other person there to be with you. Someone who has loved you, or cared for you, or inspired you. Someone living or dead. A parent, a friend, a lover, an ancestor. Perhaps someone you didn't know, but whose life inspired yours in some way. Bring that person next to you. Be with them there. And see them in as much detail as possible. And now, in the presence of these beings, human being, beings of other species, in the presence of all this care and love, if you will, ask yourself, as these beings have loved us, loved me, cared for me, nurtured me, inspired me, protected me, how can I love and protect them? And if the person is dead, how can I honor their memory? How can I repay their teachings? If they're alive, how can I protect them now? As you look at the natural world, how can I honor it, love it, protect it, as it has done the same for me? Ask those questions of yourself and see what arises. And now, knowing that this place and whatever thought has occurred to you will always be accessible to you, prepare to leave. And now, bring yourself back to this body in this room and be aware of your right elbow. And I will count from 1 to 5, and at 5 ring the bell. And then slowly and very gently you will open your eyes and be relaxed and alert. And if you are the kind of person who writes things down, before you talk to anybody or do anything else, write down anything you wish to write down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you very much.